in which O. Henry makes the opening of the story. Which story is that? Furnished room. Of his story, The Furnished Room, so disturbing. All right. Now, look at the thesis statement. The Furnished Room is a story written by the American author. Look at the use of the capital. Y is author in capital. O. Henry. The opening of this short story is made so disturbing that and perturbing through various different techniques employed by the author. Okay, who can tell me think of the thesis statement? One of you can unmute yourself and tell me what you think of the. Do you think it is a very good thesis statement, and why is it good or why is it not? Anyone? Any one of you? Anyone would like to answer this question?
Is it okay, Ms. Hadia, to have a generalization in the thesis statement? Because he says, whoever this is, that various different techniques were employed by the author.
Very good, Ms. Sadaf. You've nailed it. It's too generic. It's too generalized. It doesn't have any specific, it doesn't tell me anything about what I'm going to write. It doesn't tell me anything about what the student is going to write in the answer. It's very basic. It can be improved because the writer has to mention what makes it disturbing. 3 points, what those different techniques are. It's very vague. It's ambiguous. Also, this is a very poor leading sentence. The Furnished Room is a short story written by, everybody knows that. It's not something new. You don't have to tell me who has written the story. Plus, author is capital letters. I don't know why that is there. These are the errors that you need to fix. A good thesis statement should have 3 to 4 points about why this story is disturbing. For example, beginning, all right, not the story, the beginning, the opening. The writer could have mentioned, if you have read, I'm sure the students have read the story. The writer should have mentioned the congested and claustrophobic living of New York. Number 2, the indifferent attitude of the people of a big city. Number 3, the fact that people don't have a permanent home. They are just nomads. They can't call their place because they carry their belongings like they carry their dreams from one place to another, sometimes losing them on the way. So the writer makes it dark and very disturbing in that sense, that it's very claustrophobic. Mention these 3-4 points in your thesis statement. And you'll take those points later in your, can you hear me? Because my internet says that it's unstable. All right. So thesis statement needs to be improved. It's very poor. It needs to be better than this. All right. Now let's look at the Peel paragraph. Firstly, O. Henry, we don't start off like that. I've just told you this is not an ideal way. I've told you that make a statement. Said O. Henry makes the opening of the story disturbing through descriptions of the city. This is a good enough point. Now you can explore that later. What descriptions are disturbing? Why does the city seem so unpleasant and unwelcoming? And yet there are so many people there. It's a city which is cutthroat and harsh, demanding. You will explore that in your Peel paragraph. But don't begin your answer with firstly. Words like firstly, moreover, furthermore, don't start off like that. make straight. These can be used in language answers, not in your literature answers. All right. Firstly, secondly, thirdly, don't please. It's just it's not a very well expressed answer if you use that. All right. The pale paragraph, however, in this case has some good points, such as the story begins with a dark, dejected, and despondent tone. There's a good, although the speaker, I mean, the child has used alliteration. See, dark, dejected, despondent. I mean, she has used, or he has used um, similar meaning words like synonyms and somewhat. All right, because whatever is dark makes you feel despondent. You feel, and it can also feel dejected, and you feel dark when you are dejected. So, yeah, someone's the same idea, right? The author describes New York City as restless. What I like about here is that the child has used thoughts which are meaningful and relevant from the text. Restless, shifting, and sagacious. All these words are relevant to making this entire um, opening very disturbing and restless, right? A dull and monotonous New York City is depicted with a vast bulk of population which is unhappy and tense. Tense is not a word. Tense, it's only tense. There's no T in there. Tense is incorrect. Tense, yes, it does show the city to be tense because people are constantly trying to survive. And it's not easy to survive in this city, which is so competitive, which puts people up against each other. So you can elaborate this, that you live for the day in this city. That's how fast paced it is. That's how demanding, competitive, and cutthroat it is. All right. So you elaborate on that. Now, are you following? Can I have the next slide? Okay. These are the questions that you have to look at. Do you think the thesis statement is strong or too generic? What do you think about the Peel paragraph? Does the conclusion need to be improved? When you're writing your answer, assess yourself on these things. Look back, see if your thesis statement is too generic or it is impactful. See if your Peel paragraph has the analysis or it's just narration. Make sure the Peel paragraph has the evidence. Does the conclusion need to be improved? Let's look at the conclusion. In conclude, O. Henry makes the beginning of the story so perplexing and disturbing through the description of the city's setting. Again, she's used the same words. Mrs. Purdy's description and the use of the unnamed protagonist. It doesn't make sense. This sentence, it's incomplete or it is just abrupt. Such descriptions compel the reader to read further and hence are integral parts of this short story. Very convoluted sentences, very disjointed. Conclusion usually, as I told you, must have your opinion. What have you gauged about this beginning, this opening? Do you feel the same? Does this make you feel claustrophobic and despondent? When I read the story, I felt quite claustrophobic. I felt kind of, there was a disconnect. I felt I can't survive in a city where I'm constantly on the move because that's how I am. I'm a person, I need to have stability. There is no stability in the opening. There's constant movement. People are forever on the move. They don't stay and grow root in one place. So my opinion of this would be that I find this opening very, I can say that as the reader finds this, or one feels the despondency of these nomads who are constantly on the go. They can't call any place their home. It makes you feel disconnected. There is no sense of belonging. So write your opinion in your conclusion. I haven't read all these paragraphs, these 3 paragraphs that the child has written, but you can read this later and try and assess on your own what you think of these peel paragraphs. I have done one peel paragraph for you, the first.